Good morning, geraniums. I have not watered or seen these geraniums since last year, about Christmas vacation or so. Looking good. Barometer. Dad's barometer says change. Change is always in the air. I was just walking back from my brother's, got some coffee, and Angela came out and handed me a butternut squash. That's going to be a soup. Oops. Gravity. Can't fight gravity. Those butternuts are tough, aren't they? I put a bucket out here just in case. No freeze on Cape Cod last night. But it was colder here yesterday than it was in Vermont, where the sun came out yesterday at J. Oh my goodness, spring skiing at its best. It's too early though, we didn't want that. And now this is the 11th day in a row with some snow on Cape Cod. I could make a snowball if I had to, or even a snowman down there. And there's a little left on the roof. But we're in meltdown mode. In southern New England, it's still in the 40s. It's still cloudy. So I just had to put into Google, I put in jumbled, and it came out with chaotic, messy, tangled, cluttered, untidy. And that's how I described the weather map this morning. Look at all those low pressure systems between the northeastern United States, southeastern Canada, and the Atlantic Ocean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then way out on the right, 7 low pressure systems. The deepest is 990. It's pretty significant, east of Nantucket, but there's so many competing centers that you can't get a handle on which one is in charge. And there's still a couple of going south of us today. There's a cloud there over New Jersey. There's another one over West Virginia, Tennessee. Tom at Roan Mountain. Great follow. I don't know how to say your last name. Niziol? Niziol? And he says it's snowing this morning at Roan Mountain in Tennessee. It's snowing this morning. Meanwhile, at Jay Peak, the air is white. But we had, for the first time in the history of mankind, an Arctic front go over Jay Peak without a speck of a J cloud. 0 snow in the mountains of northern Vermont last 24 hours, even though yesterday in Burlington, Vermont, it was 47 degrees, and this morning at 9, it was 10 degrees with a wind gusting past 20 miles an hour. How do you get that much of a transition with nothing? Well, weather does as it pleases, doesn't it? The red numbers there. Wind gusts. Yeah, it's fairly windy in spots. It's just amazing that it got so cold without much of a change in the barometer. I mean, you get all these low pressure systems. Well, where's the high? Wind is air moving from high to low. And there's a weak high out there. It's about 1021 over the Great Lakes. And it's destined to go south of us. So with the ocean storms strengthening and that high coming in, it is a windy day in the mountains and cold too. Only in the single digits up around 4,000 feet. But not snowing. It's sunny, I think, in most of the mountains today. And this cloud, I don't know, it's just part of our jumbled, untidy mess here over Cape Cod. Go check out the backyard. So I haven't been here. Every time I come down, there's like new storm damage or things are blown around. And neighbors are down. Becoming more of a year-round place of occupancy now on Cape Cod. All right, I said I could make a snowball or a snowman. Wow, that is solid. Here it is. There's the snowman, snowball. I'll put it in the fire pile. That's gonna be all burned pretty soon. And look at the size of this branch that came down. So technically that was a blizzard back there on that Tuesday. Was that Tuesday the 13th or the 14th? Anyhow, the wind did gust 40 to 50. And so branches keep coming down. The trees are taking a beating. The oak trees down here get multiple pests. Oh, you didn't come here for that, did you? Maybe some birds? I don't even have any birds to show you right now. You can hear a blue jay. All right, the forecast is for this high to go south of us. And tonight, where there is snow on the ground and we get radiational cooling with a clear sky, you're going to have some low temperatures near 0 or below 0. And the moon was full this morning. I got this image at Jay Peak. Around 4 o'clock, I was looking for some snow at J, 4 a.m., and that's all moonlight. And then Carl Weller, at a more reasonable hour, looked out his vantage towards Mount Mansfield and got the moon set for us over Mount Mansfield, where it certainly did look wintry. Thank you, Carl, for sharing that. So anyhow, tomorrow morning, you guys up there, Probably be about 5 or 10 below zero in the lower elevations, but it'll be warming up quickly. And by tomorrow afternoon, you're back to freezing. So in some spots in northern New England tomorrow, the temperature may go up about 40 degrees from a low below zero to a high of close to 30. And the wind will pick back up tomorrow afternoon. All right, let's go after that. Another little weak warm front, cold front comes through here Sunday night into Monday. Somewhat colder in northern New England with a tiny bit of snow. Please be 3 to 5 inches of snow on Monday morning. And then that high is going to get south of us. And then all eyes are on this major front that's going to be crossing the nation. It's going to make headlines with its damaging weather and wind and tornadoes. An incredible battle zone between early spring and close to record warmth and a real charge of Arctic air behind it. And now the guidance has all come around that it's going to come through here Wednesday. Low pressure goes up 980 into the 982 on Wednesday morning near Chicago. And then that goes into Ontario, deepening through the 970s. So that's a powerhouse storm. And look at that front ripping through New England late Wednesday. So now it looks like only a 24 to 36 hour major meltdown at our ski areas with a ½ inch to 1 inch of rain. Everyone's trying to tell me, ask me to say it's not going to rain in the mountains. Well, I can't say that. It is going to rain, but it'll change back to snow and then freeze up fast on Thursday. And then that high, cold high, also comes in here and goes south of us late next week. And there's also something to try and form on the coast. Yesterday I was saying, oh, the Euro doesn't show any storm, but it did show a storm right when I was saying that. I wasn't paying close enough attention, but now there is some kind of a coastal system, but it's overwhelmed with warmth. So even if we get a system late next week into next weekend, which is possible, it'd probably be more of a cold rain than snow with the warm air mass covering most of the eastern United States. If you're looking for deep snow, winter's not done. You just got to go west. And we get the fading El Nino is still kicking, though. And you get these Pacific storms, and look at the snow building up in the Sierra Nevada range. My goodness. And all the way down into New Mexico and Arizona and even parts of Texas. And right on the Texas border with Mexico, there's some snow. And just a little bit here, a little bit with that Monday system, and a little bit as the rain changes to snow on Wednesday. Otherwise, I think going into week 18 of coast-to-coast snow, it's mostly in western United States and Canada. So, gardening, a lot of people say, okay, if we're not going to get any more snow or cold, or we are getting more cold, let's bring on the spring gardening. Everyone's planting their seeds indoors. And this forsythia, this is the one I love. This is these longer branches. So I got some pussy willows in the car. You'll see that in the end more. And these pussy willows, that'll be a beautiful vase for us here in a few weeks. I'll have them blooming indoors just before they bloom outdoors. And more yesterday, the fog, it was actually colder. I said northern Vermont was 47. My house was only 42 yesterday in Weymouth. We just couldn't shake the fog, and that tanker came through. I got some time lapse of the tanker, then driving to Cape Cod and seeing snow on the ground. And it was kind of fun, kind of unusual. Usually you have to drive north from Boston to find snow on the ground. Yesterday I drove south. And I'd like to thank whoever plowed my driveway. Maybe Brother Ed. These are private roads, so the town does take care of us. And boy, do we need help in that department. All right. What's going to be in tomorrow's and more? I don't know. Maybe some sunshine coming out today. Talk to you tomorrow. How you doing? How you doing? Could you make it 3 days in a row in the video? There's that Bluefin Robotics. Strike that. Is that Bluefin Robotics? I don't know. There's a lot of workboats operating out of here. Downriver, Twin River Technology, Bluefin Robotics, and fog. Fog is a cloud touching the ground. Saturation, temperature, and dew point come together. Happens a lot when you're on the edge of a warm front, which we are right now. In the fog, lunchtime, Friday, February 23rd. This should be a fun little time lapse here. Let's do it with the crow and the fog and the calm air. Very fun. Catch the name of it? No tug. Tug! No tug. Tuck, Jerry? No tuck. T-Rex. Hi. All right, let's keep this thing going. Anyhow, very thin, low cloud. That's what happens when a very thin, low cloud. That's what happens when there's a warm front over your head. So here on the ground, it's calm, Got the cold air damming holding around 40 degrees while the sun is out, up a couple thousand feet in the sky. The ski areas, the sun is out. Cape Cod, the sun is out. Boston Harbor is in the fog. There's Justice. No doubt that's Independence right there. Let's just keep this time lapse going for the fun of it. Very poor visibility. Instrument flight rules. Do birds apply instrument flight rules? Once again, fog is a cloud touching the ground. Cold air is more dense, it's heavy, hard to remove. I mentioned a couple days ago it'd be hard to get rid of this big pile of old cold air. New pile of cold air coming in for the weekend. Very interesting series of fronts happening over the next couple weeks. Can't really trust the forecast that much. Weather is hard. All right, that was an 8-minute video. Are these all Brant? You want to be on Out the Door Weather and More? What's your name? Where are you from? Thing just landed on my arm. Do you know what the weather's going to do? Because I certainly can't figure it out. There's a boat going by in the channel and I can't even see it. Fog does not get much more dense than this. I hear it's sunny on Cape Cod. I hear it's sunny in Rochester, New Hampshire, where there was 2 inches of snow. Thank you, comment. People commenting. I can't remember everyone's name. So I'm going to hit the road for Cape Cod. Maybe there's some snow left on the ground down there. Generally, when you get this kind of moist air mass coming in, it only stays foggy near a cold surface. Oh, wait. That is a cold surface, isn't it, Rex? That water's only in the upper 30s. So there it is, the refrigerator effect. Cold, dense air. Up in the sky, the wind's going by 50, 60 miles an hour, but it's just not mixing down. Cold air is dense. Should take some pussy willows with me while I'm thinking of this. Cold air did not make me think of pussy willows. Turning the camera towards the pussy willow made me think of pussy willows. And so you can cut these, not with one hand usually, and they'll bloom inside. So cold air is dense and it's difficult to remove. You need to mix it out with some gusty wind, and that's going to happen with the cold front tonight. Cold fropa. All right, let's go to Cape Cod.
Lower the blinds.
Usually the snow builds up driving north into Vermont, not going south onto Cape Cod. Wow, impressive. I wasn't sure if there'd be more snow or less snow heading out toward the east. Pretty good. Will it be here in the morning for Out the Door? Time will tell. Well, I guess that answers that. Just before Bass River. This is now day 11 in a row with snow on the ground here in Cape Cod. And to think, most of this storm occurred with a temperature of 35 degrees. How fast and hard it must have been snowing to get those snowbanks so big. Okay, it started at 37 and it worked its way down to a 33 or 34, but it really didn't freeze up until the snow was ending late in the day. A lot of downed branches and stuff too. Robert Arthur Way, 10 days after the snow. It's a private road. I don't know who plows it. I think the town. Are there any branches across my driveway? Nope. A little bit. A little tiny bit of natural snow left here. And some branches.